Welcome back to the channel. Hope you guys had a great Thanksgiving, got some food in, got some family time in, some friend time in, and hopefully you ended up being thankful for something. So start there. But yeah, we're back to it. Took a week off just to kind of hang out with family, friends, kind of just relax for a week, and then yeah, we're back to it. So I still haven't changed anything. I've still been diagnosing some small stuff, but otherwise, yeah, we're finally at that point where I'm waiting for a few Black Friday items to show up so we can finish this install, but we are basically going to get working on putting in our NB6 intake manifold. So I need to take off a whole heap of stuff. We really needed to wait for, here's the part number, for our OEM intake manifold gasket so we can make sure we don't have any leaks. I don't think the one that's there is probably gonna be an issue, but since I'm taking that one off, I might as well replace it with one of these. So we'll pretty much need to take everything off. We have all of our fuel lines that we just completed, we need to take off so we can start there. Technically, just kind of talking and working. To get all these out of there, I'm sure I'll need to drain the fuel again. Or not drain it, but just stop it from flowing all the way through and through. Take some stuff off, and then we can get working on that. Again, we need to also replace, or we're going to replace our hard lines altogether. So when I take this off, I'm gonna take this out at the same time and then basically just replace it and redo all those lines. So, and we have all of our PTFE. We have 20 feet of -6 AN lines. So I've already done a few measurements here and there. Pretty much from the front of the engine back to about here, it's about 8 feet, give or take. So we should have plenty for the return line and for the actual hard line, and then to actually make it go up, because I'll have to take the hard top off again in order to get access to it. We pretty much need to get all the way back here, and then we're gonna put the adapter pieces on that we have up front, which are these. Oh, well, I guess it's probably just easier to say these. So we can take those off, and then we'll use that for the hard lines in the back that are going to the fuel pump. So, yeah, back to it again. And then after all this is said and done, then we're pretty much just waiting to get tuned. We'll probably tune it ourselves here and there, just a little bit, but overall, I think the goal is gonna be to drop it off, UMS tuning again, get it tuned back up. I just wanna make sure I have my flex fuel sensor in too, because I need to hook that up as well, which is right here. So we're ready to put this back in, or not back in, but put it in the line as well. And yeah, we should be ready and set to go. And away we go. We got all the ones up top. Now we just need to look at the ones at bottom. There we go. Okay, and we're free. And you can see on there, it looks like everything was holding itself together. It doesn't look like it was leaking anywhere. So I'm happy. I will continue to use the OEM gaskets until they start to fail. All right, so we got the car in the air. Finally, again. That way we can pull the hard lines out all the way. And then we should be good to keep moving. Now it's time to look at the fuel filter, because since I plan on going E85, I don't believe the stock fuel filter is really meant for that. So I'm going to replace it with a DFF 110 from Deatschwerks. It is a E85 compatible fuel filter. So this big mamma jamma over here, which already comes with mounts. Beautiful. Just need to put a couple holes in the firewall or in the back wall, and then we should be able to put in some rib nuts, put it on there, attach it, we'll be set. So it's -6 AN lines. Looks like it has a couple O-rings in there as well. It is a nice little filter. Looks like a couple of the fins are bent up. No big deal. I think we can just squeeze those back, but overall, yeah, I'm happy. That way I can run everything all the way back through and through. So if you ever get one of these, it's pretty cool. They give you this filter, open side, closed side. This side is magnetic, so it essentially will just kind of sit in there, kind of gives a little give. And then this will also push on it. So I'm assuming what you want to do is, this is cone shaped, essentially the same on both ends. I would assume you're going to place this, it's tough, like this. Place looks like this, so it's in the center, and then this goes up top, so it kind of pushes it up and gives it a little bit of pressure on it, so it doesn't really move around a whole lot. But yeah, in case anybody else is doing that, they come with an extra O-ring. I'm assuming an extra O-ring. I don't see any other need for it because everything else has an O-ring on it. But yeah, like I said, everything still has an O-ring on it, so we should be able to slap this thing together real quick, and then yeah, get ready to pull the other one out. So order of operations for myself will be spring skinny side up, magnetic side down, I guess, to kind of create some pressure in there, and then slap this on top. And then this is what it basically looks like on the inside, all the way around. You can just see the spring. It doesn't move when I shake it. You don't feel any movement at all, so it's perfect. And then we'll just snug it up all the way through, so the O-ring is cinched down. Put these on, and then we can take the old one off, get in the car, because we'll have to take the hard top off, and we'll have to do a few different things. So, and voila. Beautiful. And it's going to be underneath the car, covered up in the OEM location. It's going to look great, going along with the rest of the silver theme. Oh, you can't see in there right now, but with everything else going on. So yeah, we need to get this tire off, get that whole piece out, and then we need to work on getting the hard lines off, the old filter off, and then yeah, like I said, we need to get the hard top off. That is another chore that we need to knock out. All right, everything's out as it's supposed to be. We got the hard top off successfully. Stored over there, looking nice. And then we got this back portion off for the fuel pump, so we can get those lines out of there. And we have our back piece here, which we need to take off that cover, but that way we can get the fuel filter, the stock fuel filter, and take that out. So there's gonna be a little bit of fuel leak, just kind of how it goes. And then yeah, we should be able to start working on the -6 lines all the way back. I'm waiting for some mounting clips for the actual lines themselves, so they're not like touching each other and rubbing against each other. I've seen that causes issues in the past. And yeah, go from there. I've noticed also, total side conversation now with myself, that our bushings look like they could, I mean, they're ancient, right? So they look like they could be refreshed, but I probably won't. I don't have a press or anything to get those out. I don't want to do it the old-fashioned way either, so probably just save now to kind of get some other stuff for the future. But yeah, let's get to it. All right, so we got all the lines off up here, which it kind of creates a little bit of a vacuum if you don't take those off. When you go to take the fuel filter off, it will just keep leaking. So now that that's off top, we're not leaking any more fuel, and then we can yank all this stuff out and we should be good to go. All right, GoPro's gonna die, but we got all of our hard lines out for the most part. We have one more to go. It's a return line, but just going through the motions, you can pull all these hard lines out as well. Pull them from the top to the bottom. I got one more, like I said, for the return. I'm just gonna chop that and then yank it from top and bottom, and we should be good to put the AN lines in. Almost there. Oh, and we got our fuel filter out. So, okay, officially got the last one out. So all the hard lines go bye-bye. We'll go straight from the back all the way up here, and it should be a lot cleaner. So thank goodness. All right, so next few things we're gonna knock out. Chopping off the barb fittings here for the feed and the return, so we can also take these off and then put these on there. Essentially transfer it right over. So I'm gonna continue to use these because now that I know that they work and I can trust them, I'll hold this as a backup if I need it. And that came off so easy, it's terrifying still. So cool. 2 more to go. So, same thing as last time. It's gonna need to go right up to the nub, which actually, because of that nub, there might be enough space to lay this on. So I'm gonna try and avoid chopping anything off and just lay these on. Stand by. So, don't need to chop anything. These fit perfectly fine. So, sweet. So I'll throw these on for both return and the feed, and then we can start running lines after we do the fuel filter. So. All right, so both of them are really snug on there, really tight. They don't feel like they're moving around or loose. So yeah, now we can start on the fuel filter. Okay, quick thing for the filter, just so you're aware. If the fuel's going this way and it's entering and exiting this way, you need it to be filtered. If it's this way, which is the magnetic strip piece, it's gonna block the flow, in my opinion. So I would think that you would just put it this way where the opening is facing. So the fuel comes in, hits the opening, goes in, gets filtered to come out, and then gets pushed out. Does that make sense? So. Oh, and if you weren't aware, if you want the logo out or if you want to hide it, whatever, you can adjust these. They only sit on there a certain type of way because they have a weird kind of, not weird, but a proper way to kind of lock it in on there. You can kind of see a little bit of it, maybe not, but it's really flat right there. So you can rotate this in certain directions, push it down so it's kind of flush again, and then you'll tighten this back down so it locks, so it doesn't move anymore. So then it's like this. Then you can mount it with the logo up if you want. So, ta-da. So now we can come on over here. We're basically gonna find where we want to mount this within there and then lock it up. Okie dokie. Sit down, like this. And then we'll have a 90 come from underneath. It's not flat either. This is the biggest problem. Okay, here we go. I like that. Seems like a nice little location where I can put things on and take it off. So we got our little ink pen. This is meant for welding, but taking forever. Oh, my neck. Oh yeah, much better. Cool. hit it with some enamel spray. Doesn't really matter the color, but just to prevent it from rusting back here. Cool. And we've done this many, many times before. Just thread it all the way on there as best you can. Put it in the hole. Hit it.
Skyz, you're bad.
So now, mount it up, and then I should be able to easily get a fitting on this and fitting on that side to keep it going. So, sweet! I'll get the lines done. And then that's what you'll have to wait to find out for next week. I'll get the lines completed. Hopefully we'll have our intake manifold where I want it. And yeah, we'll see where we're at. So, peace. Adios. Catch y'all in the next one.